Risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 135 of the Scholars of Wrestling. I'm your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff. To my right is Scholar Tarek. What's going on, sir?
Hello everyone. I almost said two there.
Aha. And what is this strange thing that's happening right next to me? What
I
is
got it.
this?
I got this. I've been planning for this ever since for his return. Holy shit, he's back!
Scholar Brian, are you okay? What?
Hold
on.
Hey, what's up? What's going
he's
on?
back. He's back. All right.
Sorry, I had to turn the translator on for a minute.
How was the probing?
Well, they made me speak a different language and put a translator in my neck. So, how did that?
That was an experience, huh?
Well, yeah. And then when he hit me, it snapped out, and now we're back to normal. So,
all right,
here we go.
So you know what? We're back to normal. The band is back together. So let's dive right into this week's episode with a little bit of Backstage news.
Indeed. Let us start by going through the depths of hell, because, you know, hell in a cell, baby, and checking in on a little Backstage news. Hellfire.
That counts.
Okay.
Anyway,
Sure.
Speaking of translators, I'm not sure if you guys have heard this, but apparently two top female wrestling talents from Japan are being courted by WWE, and according to the Wrestling Observer, will be joining relatively soon. And that is Io Shirai and Kairi Hojo.
They're taking over, man.
With the good relationship that they have with New Japan, and just in general, Japan in general.
Yeah, I was gonna say these
trying to
ladies
get
aren't
names,
in New Japan.
Trying to get more people in Japan to subscribe to their network by getting, you know, big names coming from the Japan area.
It's one of those. I don't really know the names. I haven't really seen them in action. But if they're anything like the guys that we've gotten, the guys and the ladies that we've gotten so far, then this can only be a good thing.
I know the names. I just never seen them in action. I just know the names.
Yeah, I've seen them go a few times. They're both very good. Io Shirai is actually a former tag team partner of Asuka.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Now here's the thought. Do they do a Japanese ladies stable?
They already did.
But do they do it in NXT, WWE, whatever?
That is going to be a tough call.
Because I mean, you've got Asuka's tag team partner. I'm sure you could play off a Japanese lady stable for a few months.
I don't know. I don't really trust WWE when it comes to a foreigner stable.
Club.
Yeah.
Got
it. Waka.
Yeah.
I wasn't even going to go there, but I was
wasn't
thinking...
even talking about the club, thank you. But that doesn't help either.
Yeah, I automatically thought you were referring to the League of Nations.
Kai and Tai...
Oh, even that, yeah.
Yeah. I don't really trust their history when it comes to foreigners. Hell, they even did it in their one of their video games. And it was already awkward.
Yeah, but even then, I wasn't even going to go that far. I was just going to say, just looking at the NXT women's division right now, they need a serious boost right now just to find someone who can deal with Asuka right now. Sure, Mickie James, I think, has a shot, but I don't know. For the long-term health, even if Mickie does win, I think they definitely need a much stronger female presence in the individual women's division way before they introduce yet another stable.
So only Japan can bring someone to take down Asuka. Screw America. Let's bring on more of them Japanese folks. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying they need more strong female talent right there, because
Dana Brooke ain't cutting it.
Yeah, Dana Brooke ain't cutting it. I think the only real credible threat they've got right now is Ember Moon, but I think it's a little too soon to pull the trigger on that.
And Dana Brooke, we're not even talking about the main roster.
I don't even care.
You have to go there.
I have to. I have to.
Save it for the prediction show. Exactly. Shush.
Don't talk about ladies if you don't want me to bring it up.
We will have plenty of time.
Also agreed on Ember Moon, but she just came in too soon to do that. Oh damn.
Yes, this is. I'm just showing pictures of Kairi Hojo.
Oh, she's cute.
Yeah, she's a little cutie pie. I like her. Yeah, but seriously, despite how cute she is, she actually can go.
I bet she can. From your personal experience.
Not remotely what I meant.
Giggity, giggity, and they're from Japan. New Japan. Climax.
You are getting me in
Wrestle
trouble,
Kingdom
sir.
11.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut your
bring
mouth.
this upon yourself.
Oh, you put words in my mouth. Why you gotta do that?
You open the door, we walk right in.
That even sounded dirty, Brian.
All right, so why don't we just cut the crap right now? Yeah.
I try my best not to go that far, but damn, welcome back.
I've got 3 weeks to store it up.
You got a lot of douchiness to make up for.
Yes, I've got 3 weeks of this crap.
All right, so why don't we just stop right now?
Can you stop? Jesus.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Oh, that's why you bring this upon yourself.
Oh, shut up. Speaking of bringing it upon yourself, let's talk TNA.
Oh, here we go.
This never-ending story.
Yeah.
That should have ended months ago, and just shut it down,
ended
man.
Years ago.
Just shut it down. It's a laughingstock now.
Yeah, apparently a major court verdict in their current case is set to be announced on Monday, Halloween Day.
Oh.
How about this treat for us all?
Treat or
trick?
Will
it be a trick?
And with what Billy Corgan's been saying, like Dixie Carter's got to get out of there. She's lying about WWE not showing interest in buying the video library. This whole thing. It's become its own drama series. This is the rise and fall of TNA wrestling.
Oh boy. Yeah, it doesn't need a DVD. We're watching it as we speak.
The fall is still happening. It's Bill and Ted. Dude, this is a totally deep hole. And it's just not ending. They're very soon to start playing 20 questions.
I wouldn't even say it's a drama. It's a comedy at this point.
It's one of those... for those involved, it's a comedy horror story.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous, but it's also like, this is affecting our lives. What is going on? This is too much for me to take.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but again, I don't know much about the legal system to really determine how final this is going to be for TNA.
It was going to be
just going to be the beginning of the end.
It was going to be interesting a month ago when we first brought it up. Now it's just like, can we kill it with fire already? That's it.
Where's Lucille for Dixie Carter right now? Or at least her grip on
Where's Lucille for the company at this point?
Too soon.
Not soon enough. Who are we kidding?
I'm still grieving, man.
No, you're not. You're enjoying it just as much as everyone else.
Yeah, who am I kidding?
Oh, shit.
You got your eye popping out. And it looks disgusting.
Oh, boy.
It took 100 issues for it to happen in the comic book, so yeah, 7 seasons is about right.
Now we're just moving on to a completely different topic. But yeah, Dixie Carter, stop this foolishness. You're making a fool out of yourself. Everyone is now laughing at you. Please do the right thing and just let it go.
Billy Corgan is Negan.
He pretty much is.
And Dixie Carter is Glenn. Not expecting it.
Oh boy. Well, back to it.
Well, back to it.
And speaking of back to it, I do have one more fun bit of backstage news, because apparently Aaron Stevens, aka our hero Damian Sandow, is going to be in our neck of the woods this weekend.
Really? Where?
There is a horror convention called Chiller Theater that is in Parsippany, New Jersey, and he's going to be there signing autographs.
There's always a couple wrestlers who show up at Chiller.
Yeah.
Always. So, it's just this is the first time that I can't call him Aaron Stevens. He'll always be Damian Sandow to me.
Yeah, you all know. I think everybody knows that there's going to be some more than a fair share of people calling him Damian Sandow because obvious reasons.
It's just his first year being there. So.
Yeah, apparently there's a really nice lineup full of people. Apparently Kevin Nash and Bobby the Brain Heenan are going to be there also.
Yep. Bobby the Brain shows up there a lot.
Kevin, if I go there, I want Kevin Nash to sign my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 DVD.
Chris Jericho's shown up a couple times.
I'll ask him, and I would ask him if his favorite Batman is still Michael Keaton. And really, that actually was his answer.
Oh, and here's some more names. Brian Knobbs, Santino Marella is going to be there. And, of course, everyone's favorite, Hornswoggle.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's favorite storyline killer, Hornswoggle, is going to be there.
Is he still the GM?
is he not? Jesus Christ.
Is he the one doing the email?
I love that they even tried to, erase that and actually brought back the anonymous Raw GM for one night. It's like, oh, yeah, I really wasn't,
We don't forgive and we don't forget.
Yeah. So anyway, if you're in the area, if you're on the East Coast list, Chiller Theater this weekend, Parsippany, New Jersey, go check it out. It's a good time. But anyway, enough of that nonsense. Let's talk about the other happenings this weekend, other than the upcoming
We're
Halloween
going to hell
in a cell.
Aha.
Segue time. Yay. Oh, brother. So, Hell in a Cell, we're back.
Is it sad that I'm actually not really looking forward to this?
Well, not entirely, considering we're drowning in pay-per-views, quote-unquote, these days.
Let's face it, okay? The brand pay-per-views, just like in the olden days. You rarely give a crap about the brand pay-per-views. That's it.
But even
if they weren't so frequent,
it's
is another story.
Yeah.
If they weren't so frequent, then I would agree with you.
I'm looking forward to Survivor Series. I'm not. Hell in a Cell is just like a thing on the way to Survivor Series.
But
because they've started doing the lead up to the Survivor Series, at least on SmackDown.
But even so, there's still, in my opinion, I think there's still a fair amount of good wrestling that can be found on this show. So let's dive right into it. All right, first match we've got on the pre-show a 6-man cruiserweight tag team match. We've got the team of Cedric Alexander, Lince Dorado, and Sin Cara versus Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, and Arya Daivari. Gentlemen, who you got?
I feel like they're gonna be pushing Cedric Alexander to the moon, right? Because he's got everything they want in a cruiserweight. So I feel like for the next couple months, really, I think that Cedric Alexander is going to be winning his fair share of matches, starting with this one.
Fool, who do you got?
Surprisingly enough, this actually was kind of a hard one for me. Just
Really?
because, yeah, they have Cedric Alexander, which I 100% agree with you, Brian. They want to push into the moon. But they also, on the other team, have Tony Nese and Drew Gulak. 2 other names that they want to push to the moon. On the other side of, on the heel coin of that.
The way I think of it is,
but
they have 2 people they want to push to the moon, but how about the other guy?
Yeah, and then you it's funny because it's then you have Daivari, which it's like I said during the Cruiserweight Classic, good guy, good wrestler, knows how to be a good heel character. Most likely going to be the fall down guy. I'm actually going to pick Cedric Alexander, Sin Cara, and who was the other one?
Lince Dorado.
Lince Dorado.
Yeah.
I'm like, you got 5 big names.
It's actually,
and you got Daivari.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny because this is the first pre-show match where it actually made me think about who the winner is going to be.
And then watch, Daivari's got to get the win.
If that happens, I will laugh.
Because it's not really in a position of the guy we don't want to win is gonna win, and we're like all pissed off about it. No, it's at the position where it's like, oh, laugh at it, move on with your night. That's it. That's it.
Okay, moving on. Next match.
Wait, who'd you pick, fool?
I picked Cedric Alexander, Lindsay Dorado, and Sin Cara.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Moving on to the actual main show. First up, we have the first women's match on the card. We've got Bayley versus Dana Brooke. Who do you got?
Now you can go off on your tirade about Dana Brooke.
No, it's not going to be a tirade anymore, but does anybody at this panel not agree with me anymore that Dana Brooke is...
She is a joke.
I am going to go like Jeremy Johns. I'm passing the mantle to a new worst in the WWE. As Jeremy Johns passed the mantle of worst movie to...
dog shit.
No, what was that? 50 Shades of Grey over Twilight. I am moving Dana Brooke over Eva Marie.
Wow.
It's the second time. I'm not sure if it was last week or this week, but the second time that she could not get a foot on the bottom rope. One time, I can give you. 2 times, get off my TV. If Bayley does not win, I am going to... My buddy better hope that I'm not there, because I'm going to put my fist through his TV. if Bayley does not win this match.
Let us know how you really feel,
was
Brian.
giving her the benefit of the doubt. She was having good matches for a couple weeks, right? She was having good matches, and then ever since the pay-per-view, she's turned. She can't hit a move. She cannot hit a move correctly. Cannot. So she needs. I'm going back to what I said at the beginning. They bought her up too early. She needs more cooking. She needs to go back. I realize that they're probably going to go with the storyline. Or I don't know if they dropped it with her and Charlotte. I don't know if they completely dropped it or they're going to do that as a secondary feud. But Dana Brooke needs to go back down to NXT, and she needs work. She needs work, and work that can't be done on the main roster. Mm. They bought Eva Marie up too early. They sent her back down. She did work with Brian Kendrick, and now she can hit a couple moves.
Yeah, so you think Bayley's going over?
She better fucking go over.
All right. I agree with you, fool.
I want to agree with you both, but because Vince McMahon is just so is just so much behind. Don't cross that. I'm actually joking. I'm not being serious. Put that highlighter down. I am 100% with Brian on this one. I just saw how much fire he had behind his eyes. I wanted to mess with him a little bit. Because I missed you. Because I missed you. I missed messing with you. Yeah, Dana Brooke is just...
Your head was about to go through your laptop screen.
Oh, man.
I was only in the second match in. Holy crap.
I was trying so hard to keep it in. But as soon as
me,
Jeff pulled out that highlighter, I was like, no, don't really put the name down.
Dana Brooke is to me as Roman Reigns is to you.
You don't really care about Dana Brooke anymore?
At the beginning. At the beginning, when you were railroading and when you were pissed off and saying he was worse than Bull Dempsey.
Well, he was.
I realize that, but I'm on that level with Dana Brooke.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair. So hopefully this match will at least be presentable.
No, it won't.
No. On Bayley's part, maybe. She's got to try her best. Prove me wrong, Dana Brooke.
This
prove me.
As much as I don't want to say it for Bayley, but because of Dana Brooke, I see this being one of like the pee break matches in between the main event.
I want Dana Brooke to prove me wrong.
She won't.
I do. But do I think it's going to happen? No. And she's going to take Bayley down with her. And that's what pisses me off.
All right. Bayley, the ball's in your court.
Carry this match, Bayley, because, your partner can't carry shit.
Hell,
she can't even carry Charlotte's briefcase.
Drop.
Speaking of carrying, next match on the card, we've got Enzo and Cass versus the Club. Boys, who do you got?
I really want, this is quite possibly one of the most disappointing things that's going on, storylines that I actually want to care about. Because, I love Enzo and Cass, but I also love the Club. But the way they've been booking the Club is almost Ascension level.
Yeah, so
it
let's just...
is. I hate to agree with that statement, but you're not wrong.
So let's just mark it down, okay? I always want to say the Club will win, but I know better now.
This is the match that I want to be proven wrong.
Yeah.
Because the Club needs this win a lot more than Enzo and Cass does. I mean, hell, Enzo and Cass have already beaten the Club when they teamed up with John Cena to face the Club with AJ Styles.
Yeah. Enzo and Cass can job until the end of time and still be the most overact on the roster. That's it.
They're reached the point where a loss to the Club won't hurt them. It really won't. People have said it probably would. It won't.
So you're saying are you going for the Club on this one?
Oh no, I'm going with Enzo and Cass.
I
want to go with the Club.
I'm going with Enzo and Cass because I
don't trust WWE in making right decisions.
So basically, in my mind, what he's saying is, we know better now. We've been picking the Club for months to win on pay-per-views, but we know better now. So Enzo and Cass.
I mean, there's This is one
I'm
of
not
the
gonna
disappointing
lose
things.
out on predictions anymore because of the Club. Okay,
Just watch; they actually win.
And
that's why I'm picking them.
That's fine.
It's got to break that way eventually for the Club. It's got to.
I really hope so. And I felt the same way when Enzo and Cass was rivaling against the Dudleys at one point. Because Enzo and Cass just kept beating the Dudleys, and I'm like, okay, there's got to be one time when the Dudleys got to win. That never happened. And it was pretty much the same thing when it was the Club versus the New Day. We were all hoping they would get the tag team titles because they need to be put as a legitimate threat. WWE doesn't know how to do that anymore. Trust me, I want to pick the Club.
And I
really do.
And Carl Anderson's a joke at this point.
That's a shame.
The way, I'm like, I watched him in Japan. He's like one of the guys, like you said watch New Japan, and I watched basically the Club. The Bullet Club. The Bullet Club.
Carl
right?
Anderson in particular had fantastic year.
Carl Anderson was fantastic. And now he's a joke. That's it. And it's sad. And I'm not I don't trust it. I don't trust it anymore. So I'm not picking them until they show that they can win on pay-per-view.
Exactly.
So Enzo and Cass.
Alrighty. All right, time for our next tag team match on the card. We've got, for the tag titles, we've got the New Day versus the dynamic duo of Cesaro and Sheamus. Who do you got?
If Cesaro and Sheamus don't win the tag team titles,
then this entire thing
was completely pointless.
So mark it down. Cesaro, Sheamus.
Cesaro, Sheamus?
Because the missed match...
It's pretty much reached that point where whenever the tag team title's on the line, I don't want the New Day to win.
Yeah. We're picking whoever's the opposite side.
No, I still like the New Day. I just don't want them to be tag team champions anymore.
It's getting to the point with me, with them. You know, you remember John Cena's 2007 title run that was over a year long?
Yep, that was a little much.
And that's the New Day right now to me. I was even getting to that point with CM Punk, but CM Punk was entertaining at least. I'm like, come on, you got to lose sometime. But he was at least entertaining throughout his, what was it, 360 something days.
He was long over
that.
that.
Yeah,
like 400 something. Like
yeah,
he was like a year and a half, right?
Yeah,
he was. So
like a year and a third, it felt like.
But it's like there are sometimes like the New Day is entertaining. Yeah, but let it go, man. Let's get some new blood in that tag team division. You already beat everybody else.
It's 434 days. CM Punk.
There you go.
Okay, so it's like
I don't care about them.
Like, and I'm more interested in the Cesaro Sheamus storyline than I ever have been. So Mick Foley's whole thing about teaming them up, it's actually worked for me. Like I didn't know at the beginning if you flash back because I was actually still here to talk about that when they first teamed up, and we were like I don't know, man. He hated it.
I know you did. I remember that.
But I wasn't sure about it. But it's won me over. I want to see them as the mismatched tag team champions. So it's like, give it to them, please.
And you know what? After that, I think you've honestly sold me.
Do they even count the days anymore with how long they've been tag team champions?
I thought they still were.
The last one I remember was the 421, because when they were in Colorado and they I think it was Big
and
E.
It just happened.
Kofi versus Sheamus. Kofi versus Sheamus.
Yeah, and
Cesaro was doing the live thing on the WWE Facebook page. Yeah. After that, I don't remember them counting.
And this feud, this whole Cesaro Sheamus thing, has brought those two back into prominence for me. Like, they were always in the background for me, but they're showing Sheamus the way they should be showing Sheamus. They're showing Cesaro, at least character-wise. Not in the spot he should be, but character-wise, that's what Cesaro should be doing. And so I'm happy with the progress this has made. And as soon as this is over, I mean, I believe they're up for big things. As soon as this whole tag team thing.
Who wants to see them win the tag team titles and they look at each other and they both just drop it and walk out?
They drop it, walk out,
and show up on SmackDown.
I would mark. I would mark out. It won't happen.
It won't happen, but wouldn't that be a twist?
Yeah, that would be a twist and a half.
It's like we showed Foley was right about something, and there's something we do agree on. This isn't working for us. Drop the tag titles and walk out. But yeah, if Cesaro and Sheamus, they have to win this. Otherwise, the past, what is it? 2 months?
Yeah.
Maybe even longer.
Like we'll go the past 3 months. Mm-hmm. Ever since the draft.
It's
really.
a complete waste.
All of it is a waste. And if this is where the storyline has been leading and this is where it's coming to a head, they have to pull the trigger right now. This can't be a 2-month thing.
It's not an option.
Yeah.
This is not about the New Day.
This can't be a New Day win.
This can't be a disqualification. There can't be a disqualification. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's Cesaro and Sheamus have to win, and
they have to win the belts.
They have to win the belts. They have to win clean.
Period.
That's it. Mm-hmm. Or else all of the last ever since the draft has been for nothing.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on. Next match for the Cruiserweight title, we've got T.J. Perkins versus Brian Kendrick in a rematch. What do you got, guys?
I do not like the character of T.J. Perkins.
Nor do I.
However, I'm picking him.
As am I.
Because of the fact that as the first Cruiserweight champion, I expect him to hold it for a while longer. I don't think the first Cruiserweight champion, you win a tournament, okay, and no matter how bad your character is, you need to hold that title for it to have some kind of prestige at the beginning of it. the tournament's all well and good, but the person who wins the tournament has to win a couple title defenses before losing it for the belt to mean anything, at least for me. So TJ Perkins retains at Hell in a Cell.
Totally agreed.
I want to agree. I really do. But it's the one thing we've been saying. TJ Perkins, he's just not interesting. He hasn't been a very interesting champion. Really, the real intrigue is going on with him trying to convince Brian Kendrick that he's a better person. But I feel like this whole thing is just showing that, like, yeah, Brian Kendrick is the big dog to win this one. And yeah, I'm just gonna go with Brian Kendrick on it.
Really?
I don't know. Like, once again, it's just the whole what would be the point of just this whole storyline with trying to get Brian Kendrick back to the light, or whatever video game puns that TJ Perkins is trying to get.
Yeah,
on
that
him.
Was sort of cringy. I admit it.
I would say TJ Perkins beat him, and Brian Kendrick turns even more dark.
I just don't. TJ Perkins has just been so bland, and pretty much we're not the only ones that have been saying that he's not an interesting champion. I wouldn't be surprised if they keep the title on him, but I just don't see it.
But if Brian Kendrick wins, they're fast-tracking Cedric Alexander.
That's exactly right.
They're fast-tracking him, not building him up or anything like that. They're going straight for the title with Cedric Alexander. And if that is what they were planning on, then they should have just given him the title. They should have just had him win the tournament in the first place.
Yeah. Hindsight's always 20/20. I'm sure they're seeing that now.
But I still think they need to build the prestige of the title, so I think they'll keep it on Perkins a little longer.
The only thing entertaining about TJ Perkins right now is his theme song.
Pretty much, yeah, you're not wrong.
Seriously, the
constant dabbing.
The kid is just so boring. That's just the most simple way to put it. The kid is boring.
Hey, don't you remember that time we were playing Nintendo 64 back together in your car? Blah, blah, blah,
He's the new age version of Rocky Maivia without the upside.
He's Rocky Maivia as a 90s kid.
He's just... Very soon he'll just come up to the pun. Oh, Brian Kendrick, your extra life is going to run out soon if you keep going down this dark path.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. I want to throw my... I actually, just right now, just because I said it, I wanted to get up and throw my chair. I was wanted to go, shut up, TJ Oh, wait, I said it. Shit. Damn it. Oh, man.
As I said,
shit.
Rocky Maivia always had that upside of he had the charisma to be able to turn it around. Okay, TJ Perkins?
I need to sit down. I am sitting
down.
No. Jesus Christ, what is wrong with me?
Hold on.
Perkins is driving me insane.
TJ Perkins is to him as Roman Reigns was to you.
Hold on,
I won't go that far.
Let me do an impression of a TJ Perkins promo.
Oh, no.
No.
Video game. 90s reference.
Boo!
Okay, I'm finished.
I actually wasn't expecting that.
Oh, they're gonna have to turn TJ Perkins heel just because of the boredom.
Oh, Jesus Christ, don't say that. He'll turn heel and his theme song will be the Bowser theme in Super Mario Brothers.
You know what? I want him to turn heel just so I can just so I can see that.
Not the da-na-na-na-na-na. No, the other one, the one at Bowser's Castle.
Yeah.
A heel chiptune theme. I can't wait to see that now.
Oh no!
Make it happen, TJ.
You put it in my head. I've put it in my head. It needs to happen.
No. I put it in your guys' head. I've given you something good, but it won't come.
No.
Just watch. He's not going to turn heel during an actual match. He's just going to come out on the stage, take out an old school NES, and just smack it with a baseball bat. Go
You
full Negan
son
out.
of a bitch!
And he just walks off wordlessly.
Thank you, Chris Jericho.
Mm-hmm. Just watch. It will work. It will work.
Jesus Christ. Now I have a Mario theme in my head. Now I want him to come out like wearing Super Mario Brother tights and just come.
Just wait. Just watch. That's how he's going to come out on Sunday.
Hell, it's Super Mario Brothers 2, the video game that doesn't matter because it's all a dream. That's how much I'm going with this. Oh,
okay,
no.
Then.
Please, let's
move on, please.
Yes.
Stop it.
Let's move on to something better, like for the U.S. title, Roman Reigns versus Rusev in Hell in a Cell. What do you got?
Roman Reigns, come on. Do we even need to debate?
Yeah,
seriously.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay, this has to be what the Hell in a Cell match is meant to be. The match to end their goddamn feud. If they keep going after this, I give up.
I have hope for this match.
Well, there's your first mistake.
No, because listen to me. Roman Reigns has always performed well in Hell in a Cell. He performed well, and it's not only because of his opponents. He's always performed well in Hell in a Cell matches, so there's my hope for a good match. Okay? There's no hope that Rusev wins. Let's get that out of our heads right now. But I have hope for a good match because Roman Reigns
and Rusev, both guys know how to wrestle. These guys,
they both know how to wrestle, and Roman Reigns has proved himself in a Hell in a Cell match.
Mm-hmm.
So I have hope for a good match. Roman Reigns wins. Everybody knows that. Anybody who disputes it
are just being silly.
Needs to go back in their hole.
they need to question their fandom of wrestling if they choose Rusev to win.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they're just optimists, like moi.
Son of a bitch!
You're not.
I didn't say I picked him. I didn't say I picked him.
The difference is, we know you picked Reigns. You're an optimist, but you have your
an
moments.
Optimist, but even you know when to quit.
Yeah, you know when to think logically.
Do I really?
Live long and prosper.
Except for that one time, and the one time he turned out to be right.
Yep.
Shut up. I know both of you. Shut up.
Woo woo woo.
Stop it. I hate you right now.
All right, moving on.
I hate you for bringing it up. God damn you. You got your one back. You got your one back at me.
All right, moving on. We've got Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins for the WWE Universal Championship inside yet another Hell in a Cell. Who do you got?
Owens. Basically because Seth Rollins made them both look like bitches on Raw. So
I agree. I think I think this can go on for another month.
This was okay. I was 50-50 going into Raw. Okay, and then Seth Rollins made both Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho his bitch on Raw. And I was like, well, we know what's going to happen now. That's it. So Kevin Owens cannot be made to look like a bitch the Raw before pay-per-view and then take a clean loss at the pay-per-view. Is there got to be shenanigans?
Yes.
Of course.
There's always shenanigans.
But Kevin Owens wins.
It's not just shenanigans. Triple H is coming back. He's going to show up and cost Seth Rollins the belt, and they're going to have their match at Survivor Series. That's what's going to happen right now. And hell, they'll probably just have Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho at Survivor Series for the Universal title. If they don't throw them in the Raw versus SmackDown match.
I don't think there's going to be a Universal title or a World Heavyweight title defense
at Survivor
Series. I think that those guys are all going to be on the teams for Raw and SmackDown. I think
I won't argue that because it is very much a possibility. That's what they're gonna focus on.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Jericho or Owens turn on each other at Survivor Series.
I wouldn't be surprised with that either.
Because Jericho likes to turn on people at Survivor Series.
Yeah. But yeah, no matter... It's Seth Rollins is having his match with Triple H at Survivor Series because they need more big main event matches to go with Brock Lesnar and Goldberg.
Yeah, because we all know that's going to be the main event.
Absolutely.
So... But they're going to treat it like a Big Four pay-per-view and have as many big main events as possible, so I can see that.
The only downside is I see them adding another hour to the Survivor Series.
Because, Chris Jericho is going to come out, fail in an attempt to help Kevin Owens. Seth Rollins is going to get a very near fall, and then Triple H is going to come out and finish the job. Kevin Owens wins.
Hands down. Okay, here's a Scholar's Quick Talk for you, gentlemen. Well, this is for basically Roman Reigns and Rusev and Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. Will someone go on top of the cell?
Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. If anybody goes up on top of the cell, it'll be Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. Roman Reigns and Rusev will break the cell if they're on top of the cell.
Well, I see them breaking the cell, period. I see, Roman Reigns spearing Rusev through the cell.
Yeah, I see them using the cell itself as a weapon. I could see Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens falling off parts of the cell.
I can see, in a word, yes. But I think it's going to be one of the guys breaking through, one of the big heavy guys, and then it's going to be the ladies who go on top of the cell.
Interesting.
All right.
I guess that's a good transition.
Transition into what should be the main event of the evening. We've got Sasha Banks versus Charlotte for the Raw Women's title. Gentlemen, the floor is yours.
I'm not gonna say should be. It's been talked about. Nobody knows if it actually is yet. They haven't confirmed. If this is the main event, I was iffy in the first place of them even naming it a Hell in a Cell match.
Did you listen to last week's episode? Or were the aliens too busy jamming stuff up your ass?
The second part.
It's okay, we won't hold it against you.
I feel like if this is the main event, okay, this has got to be fantastic. Like the best thing that the women have ever done, or else they're never going to get this opportunity again. Okay, and they've got the two divas right now who can do that.
The two women.
At least wrestling. At least wrestling wise. I haven't liked the promos leading up. At least this month. None of the promo work has been good. Any of it. But if this is... I was iffy about it being in a Hell in a Cell, and now they're going to put it in the main event spot. This better be amazing.
Well, they took back the fact that they put it in the main event spot, like the next day.
Oh,
it's like,
and then a week after they said it could still be the main event.
Oh yeah, they said it could still be, but they said they're not 100% sure.
Yeah, so if it is the main event, it's got to be at least match of the night. It has to be something that gives us wow factor. Because if it doesn't, that'll be the death knell for any shot of these females in this era ever getting a main event shot again like Trish Stratus and Lita did.
So who wins?
Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks breaks the pay-per-view curse.
It's not a curse, it's the record.
She hasn't been able to beat Charlotte ever on a pay-per-view. It's always been on Raw.
It's not a curse though, because Charlotte's awesome.
It's a curse.
So who do you think is going to go over?
Oh, it's obviously Sasha.
Obviously Sasha?
Obviously Sasha.
She breaks the curse, we can move on to a new feud.
She breaks the 13 or 14 winning streak on pay-per-views for Charlotte.
Oh,
because ever since they started bringing that up, it's like we all know where this when the feud ends, it's got to be because Sasha beat her on pay-per-view, and now that it's in a Hell in a Cell, it's got to happen now. If they draw this out another month, that's when I'm gonna start shitting on it.
That's the problem with WWE these days. They draw the feud out to an extreme, to a point where it's like
this has been going on since WrestleMania.
Yeah, even before.
All right, the pay-per-view before that.
Mm-hmm.
Not Roadblock, the other one.
It's like, get it right. Too many
I can't even keep track anymore. I honestly can't. All right, so we're all going to Sasha? Is that what I'm hearing?
Sasha Banks has to happen.
All right. All right, so that's our Hell in a Cell predictions. Fool, you got any Scholars Quick Talk, topics, conversation, anything?
I only have, other than the obvious one, the only one I can really think of is Raw starting to lose interest?
Raw lost interest for me a while ago.
In a word, yes. That's all I'm going to leave it at for right now.
I'll kind of mix it with the Raw versus SmackDown question. It's just reached that point where, like I said, I'm not even very interested in this event because the last Raw event, I don't know. I think we've established this. Is this the second or third Raw event?
Second.
Clash of Champions was one.
Clash of Champions.
Oh yeah, so hard to keep track now.
Backlash, Clash of Champions, No Mercy. This okay.
Yeah. The only problem SmackDown has right now is the World Heavyweight title scene of this month is goofy as hell. That's it.
Well, the fact that
I am not impressed.
Well, the fact that a jobber is one of the main aspects of the feud.
Yeah, I'm not impressed. That's it.
Really, as happy as I am about it, the most interesting storyline is with the Intercontinental Championship.
And it has been since
the feud really started.
Yeah.
But at this point, for me, when it comes to Raw, it's reaching the point where I'm getting tired of watching it because it's just reached the point where it's reached the point of ridiculousness. One, it will always be that 3 hours, and they use it to fill time with complete and utter nonsense.
Yeah.
Because seriously, who wants to see the golden truth versus the shining stars? Who wants to see Titus O'Neil versus Mark Henry?
Exactly.
Which I actually heard a rumor is going to be a second pre-show match. Titus O'Neil with the Shining Stars in his corner versus Mark Henry with the Golden Truth in his corner.
You want to know why SmackDown is what people like to watch? Because it's 2 hours long, it's compact, there's no filler.
And the storylines are still interesting. It makes you want to watch it.
Yeah, it's still interesting even if they're goofy as hell.
Really, the only real goofiness about it is
the only real goofiness is No Chin.
No Chin Ellsworth, right?
Yeah.
It was Ellsworth.
It was fun. Right. It was fun the first week. Okay. I accepted the rematch. Okay, but did he really have to be there last week on
right
Tuesday?
Now, all that whole thing this past week was pretty much delaying the inevitable. We all know Dean Ambrose is going to get a title shot.
Yeah, and it's actually regressed what they were doing with Dean Ambrose last month, with what he was doing with John Cena during that. He's regressed back into the funny guy that people were actually starting to turn on before John Cena was inserted into the feud.
It's reached the point. Yeah, John Cena's brought the seriousness out of Dean Ambrose, and now they took him out. Oh, let's just bring the goofiness back because
I'm like, where was the guy last month who was cutting the promos of his life?
That's why I don't blame Dean Ambrose. I blame creative for what they're doing. It'll always come back to creative and not giving these guys. Keep going with creative. The word creative. The creative freedom for their characters.
Yeah.
For me personally, it doesn't even go that far. It's just so much wrestling to watch in just a small amount of time. It's draining. Most of the time, I don't even watch all the wrestling. I don't watch both Raw and SmackDown. I just have to choose between one or the other because even if I do have the time, I'm just mentally drained.
I'll be completely honest. The last 3 weeks, I've just been watching select segments of what I actually want to watch on YouTube.
Yeah, it's just too much wrestling.
After the show, and I watch SmackDown. I watch SmackDown because it's good, and I want to watch SmackDown. But Raw, I watch the segments that I want to watch, and anything else, I don't really give a shit about.
I'm actually reaching to that point with Raw. I actually like to watch SmackDown live, not the title. Actually, watch SmackDown live. I don't want to. It's reaching to that point where I don't want to watch Raw anymore. It's now really become a chore.
We watch it because we watch it because we want to talk about it to you guys. That's the only reason at this point
when it's coming
that
to
I'm
Raw.
watching it. When it comes to Raw,
because I'm also getting really sick of authority figures taking control of the show most of the time. At least when it comes to Raw, we see a lot of. I love Foley, but we see a lot of him. We see a lot of Stephanie. And when Stephanie does show up, she talks down to all the wrestlers, and she talks branding.
Authority storylines are good when you're actually moving story along, and it actually makes sense, and you're actually doing something. All Foley and the only good thing Foley has done, is that whole promo that he cut when he put Cesaro and Sheamus together. That was fantastic. And he had emotion in his voice, and it was a great promo. But other than that, I could care less whether him and Stephanie are on screen. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon, they rarely come on screen.
And Daniel Bryan, when he comes, it's mainly for talking smack.
Talking smack, and he makes a match every now and then.
Yeah. It's the whole. I even like what Daniel Bryan said on Talking Smack about just trashing Hell in a Cell. I liked it.
Why don't you do 6 Hell in a Cell matches?
I have to admit, I did see that. That at least was worthwhile.
I like that he was like, wow, Daniel Bryan is more Mick Foley than Mick Foley right now.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, I think. There's so much wrestling to watch that for me, that kind of moment was way, way too easy to miss.
You know what the worst part about it is? They're actually thinking of doing a Raw talk show after after Raw.
No.
Raw talk.
Oh.
I'm not joking. And it's just like, it would work if Raw went back to the 2-hour formula.
Yeah.
Because it won't work if they keep going with this 3 hours, because I actually said it on the original post where I read this. Everyone's complaining that Raw is way too long with the third hour. Why do we want to watch more of it?
Yeah, because really, who watches the pre-show?
No,
for Raw? Who thought that was a good idea?
Yeah. Well, SmackDown has a pre-show too, but let's pretty much reach the point. Your question: who really watches it?
Yeah, so it's like you watch Talking Smack because of stuff like The Miz.
It actually progresses story.
Because of stuff like The Miz, what he did. Daniel Bryan talking smack about Hell in a Cell. Dean Ambrose and John Cena talking smack about each other a week after each other. It's like, that's stuff you want to see. What are they going to do on Raw Talk? What are they going to put on there? We don't care about it. Or at least I don't. I care. Put Kevin Owens on.
They'll put Titus O'Neil. They'll put all the lower card stuff on the Raw Talk.
Yeah.
If they do that, they're not gonna. Maybe once or twice they'll have bigger names show up. They keep.
And I also thought it was amusing that the list was bigger than anything
that had anything to do with the title match on Raw.
You know what the funny thing is? That's the thing with both major titles right now.
I'm like, at this point, you might as well give Jericho the title because he's the best thing he got going right now.
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
Yeah, the list is more. The list has a bigger story than the title feud. A jobber has a bigger story than the title feud for SmackDown.
Yeah. I'm like, at this point, you're putting Jericho over so hard. You might as well just give him the title and be done with it.
I'll just end our topic of discussion conversation. I'll think of a better title for this.
Yeah.
I'll just close it with this. The one real problem that WWE has right now is that in the long run, when it doesn't involve WrestleMania or SummerSlam or just the big 4 pay-per-views, when it doesn't involve that, it doesn't matter. It's nothing more. It's nothing more than filler, and it's reached the point where us and a bunch of other fans are sick of it, and they need to wake up and think all the year long should mean something. All these guys are getting injured. They're putting their bodies on the line for what?
I wouldn't go quite to the point of calling it all filler, but it's so much. There is so much more programming, and I really don't want to call it filler, but it certainly feels that way sometimes. To the point where it's too easy to check out, it's too easy to lose interest until a big show comes around. I'm not talking about Paul White. You know what I mean.
Smooth.
So, this to me, just to bring things full circle real quick, to me, just seeing what's on the card for Hell in a Cell this weekend, in my eyes, it can honestly go either way. But anyway, you've all heard our predictions. You've heard our thoughts. Now we want to know what you all think. So please leave us a comment. Leave us your thoughts through all the usual means. Leave us a comment on this video. Give us a thumbs up if you like what you hear. Maybe even shoot us a subscribe. We all love that, if we can even pronounce it the right way.
Smooth.
Yes. Nice. No one will notice that one. You can also find us on Facebook. Just run a search for the Scholars of Wrestling Show. Like our page there too. And if you want a little bit of a more intimate one-on-one type of commentary experience in your life, you can follow us on our Twitters. Follow our main page at ScholarsOW. Fool, where can they reach you at?
You can find me at the Avataric.
And Brian, where can they find you?
At Atomic Beanpole.
And I'm Robbie Rage, all one word. There it is. Follow all of us for running commentary for all the shows, including this weekend's Hell in a Cell. It's a great time. Join the conversation. No extra hashtags required unless you want them. So, that's Hell in a Cell in a nutshell. Those are our predictions. Yeah. I'm actually almost looking forward to this, but...
No, you're not. Well,
I am. A little bit, maybe.
I'm looking forward to it because at least the wrestling's going to be good. Say what you want about the storylines and what they're doing leading up to it, but the pay-per-views have been good with the wrestling.
I'll just say, the wrestling will be good, but we've even said, and what they want to put, it is story, it is entertainment. So if I'm just gonna call it right now, if this Raw show fails like it did with Clash of Champions, and it's only because I feel that way because Raw doesn't deliver when it comes to when it comes to their quote unquote special events. This one I'm reaching that point where it's like borderline, like I'm kind of tired of it. Like I'm borderline just watching it on YouTube, like what Brian is. So this is their final stand on having me watch it live.
Well, there it is. The battle lines have been drawn. You know what we think. You know who we are. We're the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome. See you all at Hell in a Cell.
Oh no, I'm losing it.